Luka Doncic isn't just playing basketball right now. He's rewriting it. 2 games into the season, and already the world is looking at the Dallas Mavericks, or should we say, Luka's Mavericks, differently. He opened the season with back-to-back 40-point explosions, dropping 43 on the Warriors, then 49 on the Timberwolves. That alone put him in rare company, joining Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, and Anthony Davis as one of only 4 players in NBA history to start a season that hot. But while Luka's brilliance looks effortless, the bigger question is one that has haunted his career since day one. How long can one man carry the load before the entire system collapses under its own weight? From the opening tip, Luka has looked like a player possessed. Against Minnesota, he started with a kind of shot that only he could make. A fadeaway over Rudy Gobert, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, balancing McDaniels on his back and sinking it like it was a warm-up jumper. Moments later, he casually pulled up from 30 feet, nothing but net. And if that wasn't enough, he followed that up with a silky pick and roll with Deandre Ayton, slithering through screens, reading every defensive rotation like a chess master, then finding Gabe Vincent in the corner for an easy 3. There's a new sharpness in Luka's movements this year, a lightness in his step that wasn't there last season. Because the truth is, Luka looks different. Not just physically, but mentally. You can see it in the way he moves into his mid-range, how he absorbs contact at the rim without grimacing, how he takes every hit and converts it into another bucket. The step-back threes are still there, the impossible, demoralizing kind that feel like daggers even in the first quarter, but it's his conditioning that stands out most. Over the off-season, Luka made a commitment he'd long been accused of avoiding: getting into the best shape of his life. It shows. There's an edge to him now, an endurance that lets him dominate deep into the fourth quarter, where before he might have faded. Against Golden State, his rhythm was almost surgical. Over and over, he found his spot in the mid-range, punishing Klay Thompson, Gary Payton II, and even Jimmy Butler on switches, as if he were testing every defender's will to compete. When the Warriors blitzed him, he found cutters. When they switched smaller, he punished them in the post. When they sagged, he buried them from deep. And then came the moment that sent a chill through the entire building. A 30-foot step back over Butler, right before halftime. It was the kind of shot that reminds everyone watching that there are levels to superstardom, and Luka's sitting on the top floor. But as breathtaking as it all was, the cracks were visible too. Despite Luka's 43-point masterpiece, the Lakers, or rather, Luka's Lakers in this fictional reimagining, couldn't close it out against the Warriors. It wasn't because Luka faltered, it was because everything else did. The rest of the roster looked lost, frozen in orbit around a single sun. Outside of Luka and Austin Reeves, the offense was flat. Turnovers piled up, free throws clanked, and the ball stopped moving. It was the same story that's defined so many of Luka's seasons. One man playing basketball like art, while his team forgets what the brush even looks like. Then came the next game against Minnesota, and everything changed. The Lakers came out sluggish again, down early. But this time, the supporting cast came alive. Marcus Smart brought fire on defense. Jared Vanderbilt hounded every ball handler into frustration. Austin Reeves? He looked like the perfect partner in crime, dropping 25 points and 11 assists with just 1 turnover, orchestrating with poise and precision. Rui Hachimura added a blistering 23 on 77% shooting. Suddenly, the weight on Luka's shoulders didn't look so unbearable. He still had 49, 11, and 8, but now it felt like team basketball. The ball zipped, cutters moved, role players made plays. For the first time in this young season, the Lakers looked like a real team. They took care of the ball, cut their turnovers in half, attacked the glass, and matched Minnesota's physicality blow for blow. The energy on defense was infectious. Smart and Vanderbilt didn't just guard, they dictated. The Wolves never got comfortable, and as a result, the Lakers scored 128 points, coasting to a win that felt like a glimpse of what this roster could become. And yet, beneath that victory, there's a problem brewing. One that every analytics sheet and every scout will be watching closely. The Lakers' 2 most used lineups are night and day. Their starting 5, Luka, Reeves, Hachimura, Ayton, and Gabe Vincent, has been an offensive machine and a defensive nightmare, giving up a catastrophic 155 points per 100 possessions. Swap Vincent for Marcus Smart, though, and suddenly the defense locks in, allowing just 89 points per 100. But then the offense dries up. It's the eternal balancing act every contending team faces. offense versus defense, chemistry versus chaos, and the Lakers are standing right in the middle of it. The irony is that Marcus Smart might already hold the key. When he's on the court, the Lakers' net rating skyrockets to +30. Their defense sharpens, their turnovers plummet, and even if Smart isn't scoring, he's dictating the tempo. He brings a toughness, a presence that gives Luka the freedom to rest, to orchestrate instead of rescue. The numbers tell the story. 123 offensive rating, 93 defensive rating with Smart on the floor. Those are championship metrics, if only the shooting catches up. But this leads to a looming question. What happens when LeBron James returns? Because as unstoppable as Luka looks, LeBron's return will shift everything. Rotations, roles, rhythm. Who sacrifices? Smart, Hachimura, or even Reeves, who's quietly becoming indispensable. When those three share the floor with Luka, the defensive vulnerabilities multiply. Without Smart, they're exposed. Without Hachimura, they lose spacing. Without Reeves, the offense loses its second conductor. It's a delicate puzzle, and head coach J.J. Redick, yes, that J.J. Redick, is already learning how unforgiving the margins are. And then there's Deandre Ayton, the wild card in all of this. Game 1, he looked lost, barely touching the ball, finishing with 10 points and 6 rebounds. Game 2, he was alive, crashing the boards, setting hard screens, and staying engaged on both ends. His buy-in is everything. If he commits to doing the dirty work, this team could be dangerous.